Hello, I'm Michael. This is Abdul.
Hello.
And we are the Crazy Optimizers, or he's the Crazy Optimizer, but today we're actually going to talk about something different. And we actually think this is going to turn into more of a series of things we're going to talk about weekly. And it's how to run your SaaS business. And we're going to take you through every step of the way, week by week, of the things the challenges we're running into, the issues we have, of hiring an overseas team, and doing this all remotely, at least in the States, and then in an office in Pakistan or in Karachi. So what we're going to talk about today is running your SaaS business, really, and we're going to kind of start off about what this show is about. So why don't we both kind of just talk a little bit about what we think this show is going to be about and kind of go from there.
Okay. Thank you, Michael. So, yeah, I think you introed it quite well. But I think for us, the show that what I think in my mind is about SaaS, right? We are kind of 15 Blocks is an agency. We do clients' work, and then now we're building a product which is in the SaaS industry, in like the managed cloud hosting industry. So we thought, okay, as we are building it from scratch, so there are so many things that are coming up, so many new challenges that are coming up. So why not document this journey? So like many other people can also who are on the same path or are looking to go into the SaaS business or create a product or a software can benefit from that. So, and also it helps us as well, because when we talk about it, because we me and Michael, I think we already talk about this stuff daily. So I think it's better to just record this stuff as well. So it's not something that I would say we would be kind of polished kind of material. This would be mainly calls that are getting recorded. Sometimes, yes, we'll have a topic that we'll try to cover, some points, some questions that we get, because we have started getting some questions as well from some other people. So covering those points as well, what we're doing for them. But I think it's mainly just conversations, the challenges that we are facing, the problems that we are having, and the good things as well that we are doing, and the things that we are noticing that are helping us move forward in this journey. So I just think it's a journey kind of recorded. We are just putting a camera back on ourselves.
Yeah, I think that's a good point. These will not be polished. There will be probably times where I'm like, hey, Abdul, let's just jump on and talk about this topic because it's an issue we struggled with, which we've solved, or an issue we struggled with and we didn't solve it, right? And it's, or it was an issue that was a roadblock that we had to somehow work around to figure out, the solution around that. So this is going to be like one of those documentaries almost of the up and running or up and coming of how to run a SaaS business. So I guess to that point, we will have some topics at some times, but it will be all real stuff. There's no theory, right? It'll be actual things we encountered and what we decided to do, what we didn't do, and why. Now, people can second guess us all day long. That's the part of being the armchair quarterback, so to speak, right? But for us, we're living it. We're going through it right now. I mean, to be honest, we're right in the middle of probably actually the beginning of Corona, right? The coronavirus. And we actually had a discussion last week. Should we even move forward with this, right? Is this something we should still continue to invest in, considering where we're at? And, obviously there's funding that needs to happen, but also hiring people and the issues we've run into that, even just with this weird pandemic that we're having. But it's all real. It's all happening. So I don't know if you want to talk a little bit about that.
I think definitely when we started working on this idea, okay, I think the corona was just in China, so we didn't have that in front of our eyes as well. So we just started working on it, and suddenly when we were about to go forward, everything just started happening around the world. So then definitely we also had these, okay, it's natural also to have some sort of anxiety as well, right? Okay, is this the right time? Everyone, because we're seeing everyone kind of, especially on the marketing side of things or digital side of things are contracting everywhere in each industry. We're okay, should we go forward? But I think when we had this discussion, I think we had a couple of calls around that, and it's okay, no, this is the time, right? This is the time we have to kind of stand up and make a decision and just do. If we think that we are on the right track, which we do, so just keep going forward, because that's what obstacles are, right? And definitely this is it's a big problem, and we just hope that it gets better everywhere. But I think for us, it's it was important to just keep moving forward. Yes, we did change a few things in our plan to take the realities into account. But I think the overall thing, the strategy was just there, because you change plans, right? You don't change strategies. The strategy was already there. We were doing this, so we just changed our plans accordingly. It's okay. let's do this way. Let's think of a new way of doing it. But the strategy was already there.
And I think maybe an important point in the introduction is to talk about what we're building, right?
Yes.
So
and what we are right now,
yeah.
I think if someone looks at a channel, they already know about WP Help and 51 blocks, but just a good idea to cover that.
So I think at a 10,000 foot level, I started an agency in 2009, 51 blocks. It's a white label agency. Through that process, I acquired clients to host them, and I'm a computer science geek, nerd. I love speed of websites. It's something weird to say you're passionate about, but I am. And it's something that we think there's a market still for, of truly managed WordPress hosting, which is going to be a little bit different than some other players in the market. And we're going to call them out by name because they are who they are. They are the 10,000 foot or 10,000 pound gorilla, right? So we're talking about Kinsta, we're talking about Cloudways, we're talking about WP Engine, we're talking about Flywheel. Those are the people we're going after, or what their platform is, of what people think managed WordPress hosting is. But we're taking it one step further of truly managed. So why don't you talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, I think definitely there's no harm in naming them, but I think we do understand and we do appreciate what they do. And
Absolutely.
we do know it's not like we have something against them. But the thing is that it's like we are, like every business, we have our own niche as well. And we think that there's so many good things that Kinsta, WP Engine, Cloudways do, but then there's so many other things that can be done as well. Because I think for us, like Michael mentioned that he is working since 2009 in the industry. I've also been in the industry for I think over 15 years now. So this is the thing, right? When WordPress launched, I started from that time working on WordPress. It used to be very easy. Like digital marketing, and in essence, used to be very easy. Now things have got very complicated. Same with WordPress as well. Like WordPress initially was just a blogging kind of a platform. Now it's like people use it for so many different things, and sometimes we just get amazed as well. Still, like what uses people come up with for that? Like such big websites working on WordPress. So with all this complexity, WordPress has gotten difficult. It's gotten a little difficult to manage for a normal business owner. So we think, okay, there are so many good platforms out there like Insta, WP Engine, Flywheel that do a very good job in taking away some of the complexity. But I think there's still so much complexity left for people to, for where you get the usual answer like, oh, talk to your developer kind of the thing, right? Like when you get into that. So some people do have developers and it's not hard for them to like go back to them. Sometimes it's not that easy. So what we are trying to do is, okay, the more people you talk to, they tell you it's difficult, but I think that's what makes it worthwhile as well, because it's difficult, we want to do it. So the idea is, okay, how can we manage one step further? So that's why we're talking truly managed. So like what we think managed should be, where a person who comes in, who has a WordPress website, who gets a host, who cares for their business, who cares for their website, not just their server side, that okay, everything on a server is working. Now, whatever is wrong is with your website, go figure it out. No, I think that's an ethos that we will be building from day one within ourselves as well, and the company as well, that even if we cannot fix it, some problems are not fixable by a host, right? But then definitely the idea is to give you actionable intelligence on that, like things you can actually do and help you as much as we can going forward. Like, okay, this is what you have to do, this is what you have to do. And not, the idea eventually for us is not to have, like, you have to actually talk to a human to even have that. Build systems around the place where you go into the platform, if something is not working, the system tells you that this is where you should look. This, so you don't even have to go to a human. And if you come to a human from a support department, the idea is you get that thing fixed. Now, definitely, if it's something that's really big or really broken, definitely there is something that you will have to look at. But definitely, we are there. We want to give that as an additional. What we plan is to give it as an additional service as well to fix those problems as well for you. So you're not the usual host that will tell you go to your host, go to your developer.
And I think, we have plans, and just like Abdul said, they may change, right? So right now, our ideas are, our main focus is focusing on agency owners that have a set of sites that would need a place to manage them and want true management of those services. And the details of every one of those, we have the details. I'm not sure. I mean, everything will always be the same once the product gets launched, right? Yeah. And I mean, I think I'm going to try to be as transparent as we can. That might even be as transparent as with our numbers, right? So yeah. Where I was going to say is, over the first 10 years with our digital agency, we've gotten about 350 WordPress websites currently. And in the last 6 months, we've gotten about 120 people on this platform. So this platform that we currently have, we know is needed in the market based on the results we're getting, the speeds we're getting. We know that's needed by digital marketing agency owners because site speed is a ranking factor.
Yep.
So you guys will be along for us on the journey. You'll see us run into things. I'm sure we'll look back at these in 5 years and be like, what were we doing thinking that was what this is going to happen?
Yeah.
But that's part of the journey, right? I'm more than happy to share my mistakes so that somebody else can learn and get to their goal faster through the process. But yeah, that's kind of what we think this channel is going to be about and kind of how we're going to approach it.
Yeah, and I think there's one thing in this for us as well, because I've always seen the power of a community, right? When we are on Facebook groups, we're on different communities. And because, like you said, we'll be talking about our mistakes as well, the problems that we're having as well. So definitely we have a lot of intelligent people that will be looking at videos as well. So we are hoping that if we run into these problems, maybe we'll get solutions from people who look at our videos. So that's a good thing for us as well, because like we are going through a lot of things, and we have gone through a lot of things in the last 10, 15 years. Now for SaaS or building a SaaS is something that's not like, we're not like, we have started doing it. We're just at the, I would say, the early, like we're at the starting line right now, and we're just about to start development and all that. So I think there are a lot of people that have already done that as well. So we are hoping that once we have those kinds of people looking at our videos and giving us more suggestions as well, because that some mistakes that we might be doing that they might have already solved. So that's why what's in it for us as well.
Yeah, true. I'd love to have feedback. I think overall what we're trying to do is have, a couple people remote in the United States, and then having our idea is to build a team in Karachi, Pakistan, that will be the development team and a majority of the support. I won't say all, because we want 24/7 coverage at some point. I'm not sure that, if that will always be in Karachi, but for the most part, that's where we're opening up the site, or the opening up the platform to start, and kind of to see where we're going from there. Anything you want to add on that?
No, I think that covers it. I think I think we did mention this in the last video. Even like, this is odd that we are doing the intro after our first video, because we thought, okay, I think that's the unpolished part of this as well, because that night on Friday we're just talking about it. We just thought, let's record it. So we actually recorded our first video before actually telling people like what we are trying to do with this kind of content. So yeah, I think that's how raw it would be. That it would just be, I think, just to cover that up, that we've already, like, where we are at this stage is that we've already got the office. We already have, I think, 7 people joining in the next couple of weeks, and then we'll be having more. So that's the idea, to have that, and that's the things that we will be sharing on a weekly basis of what's happening with us, what are we doing, what are the new things that we're working on, and what are the problems that we are facing, how are we solving that, so other people can benefit from that, and also sharing some technical information, sharing some ideas that we have, like, how did we come up with this niche? What process did we follow? How did we do a planning? How did we like kind of decide on the stack that we were working on? So these things are, how did we go through this process of getting here, and then as we go forward, how the process follows that. So sharing all that information for people, to just documenting it for ourselves as well. So like you said, we can look at it 5 years later and say what we are thinking of, or like the people as well.
Yeah, I think actually it's almost like one of those movies where we're forward in time. I think the next video we should do is talk about 6 months ago and where were we at to get to the point where we are today, right? So I think it's almost like the movie where, 6 months earlier, right? And you go back and you talk about that, what really happened. But I think that lays a pretty good groundwork of what we're trying to do. This, like we said, it's not going to be polished. It's 2 guys figuring this out as we, stumble through this. And as we build people on the team, I think maybe there'll be a video just talk about how this is how we've built the team. This is who we have, those types of things. I know we have some developers. We have one HR guy that's really helped out in our space. But I think overall, just like laying, we're going to be here. We're going to be raw. This is what it's going to look like. We definitely won't be wearing matching sweatshirts every time either. But right now we are, for the first couple ones that we do today. We're going to do this one and then a couple other today, I think, and we'll knock those out to get you up to speed where we're at, and then it'll be kind of that information going forward. So we'll have to come up with a better.
One more thing that we would like try to bring other people from the industry on board, like people I know, people Michael knows, and people who will join us in this journey as we go forward. So we'll be inviting you guys as well to, if you're like, come on board, like have talk on certain topics that we have in plan. So I think that's always just building this as a knowledge hub for SaaS businesses, especially SaaS businesses that are developed overseas, and not with, I would say, not by technical founders in a sense, because that's a big point here as well. That we both definitely are, Michael and myself are technical, but we are not programmers ourselves completely. So we're not the ones who are programming this whole platform, because you see a lot of SaaS that I see, smaller ones especially, are started by the like the founders themselves who code this product themselves. So I think that's a good thing, because I do get this asked a lot, like how I'm not a programmer, so that means I cannot do a SaaS business. So I think we are here to prove that wrong, that theory wrong. So I
Well,
think
we
that's
hope
the,
so. We
yeah,
hope that's the case.
yes.
Yeah. So, yeah, let's we'll cut it off for here for now. We'll hopefully come up with a better name, because Crazy Optimizer doesn't necessarily apply to this solution. But we'll think of something, and we'll get back to you guys on that, or hopefully you'll see it in the future videos. But right now, I think we'll cut this off and we'll say goodbye as our intro video, and we'll see you on the flip side as we go through this process. And as Abdul said, love to have people come on and talk that have gone through this process or that understand this process and do things like that. So let us know. Thanks. We'll talk to you later.
Thank you. Bye.